Welcome to Girl Talk. We're so glad you could join us today. We're filming on location today at the Vinery off of East Washington Avenue. Later on, they're going to show us how to use these.
You always have some kind of trick up your sleeve.
It's like, what is this? I don't know. But they're going to show us later, and we'll show you too, and you can join in and maybe come and take a class.
Oh, such a fun place. It brings out all your creative energy, and it's just isn't it just a free-flowing space of creative art? I love it. I love everything they do, and they're so beautiful, the pieces that you see around here.
And it's the people here that really make the difference in my mind. Really nice folks that
And I'm glad you mentioned
here.
workshopping, because I think that that's something that is offered here. It's kind of rare to be able to sit nowadays in this fast-paced world and environment in which we live and sit and take the time and have the patience to do art, learn art, use new tools.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me feel like, kind of some of the time that you'd spent when you were little, and just kind of having someone give you a space and an opportunity to learn something new that comes to art or other fun things. So
just to be
anyways,
creative.
Yeah, just to be creative.
I want to be a kid again.
I know, right? What did you do when you were a kid?
Again,
Yeah, you're kind of still a kid, sorry. Anyways.
I'm close to that age group. No, actually, recently I went for a really long bike ride because it's, things have been great here in the Madison area. Who knows if they're going to be here to stay? You never quite know. But I went for a really long bike ride, and I was going really fast, and I had this moment where I was like, I feel like this is what I did when I was a kid. And
Can't you
it's
just picture
free.
her?
yeah,
I know.
My hair was blowing, and I just had a big smile on my face.
Were you standing up on the pedals? I remember
I
doing
did do
that down
that
the
a
hill.
little bit up the hills. You truck it up and then go really fast down, and it was just a blast.
Yeah, I mean, bike riding especially, what's that saying? Like, you never forget. Or it's like riding a bike or whatever, when that brings back those feelings of childhood and freedom and the hair blown in the wind kind of
Yeah.
stuff. You got to, I
Right.
think, latch onto that feeling and bring that into your day. 'Cause
How about
it's really
for you?
important.
You had a recent experience, kind of similar feeling.
Yeah, well, I have the pleasure of walking my son to school every day because we live close, and so I get to see, parents and kids kind of playing together on the walk, climbing the hills, and the parents when they interact with each other, I think it brings us back to when we were kids, because we get to observe our kids talking, and then we get to kind of be in that same emotional space and kind of chit chat with each other. And yeah, you have moments of like, oh, I remember what this is like the first day of school, or rushing after lunch to get outside for recess, those kind of feelings. So it really, it's great to be in that environment. And again, I try to embrace that all the time. So
Right.
so agree.
bring out a little kid story of your. I mean, do you have a little?
Actually, I want to mention who else we have because we're almost out of time. Yeah.
Well, it kind of goes, after that, talking about environment and being in a good environment. Float Madison,
Float therapy.
talk about a great
Listen to
environment.
that segue. Ellen Barrett's a pro.
Segue. They've got a great environment, stress relief, so many different benefits. And then we're also talking to the Ultimate Veritas Salon and Spa, which another great environment if you haven't been there.
Beauty inside and out with them.
Inside and
great
out.
folks.
So we'll have that coming up next. Stay tuned to Girl Talk.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. We are here at the Vinery, and you're going to want to stick around because later we're going to get creative and talk to the folks here later in the show. We look forward to it. So right now we are going to talk to the diva of beauty. We are so pleased to have you. Yes.
thank you.
You always look fabulous.
Wow.
You look fantastic today. This is Debbie Offerdahl, owner of the Ultimate Veritas Salon and Spa on Monona Drive. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking me to be here.
Well, we're excited to chat with you. Now, before we kind of dive into the beauty stuff, because I'm of course a fan of yours and some of your products as well, but I want to share with viewers at home a little bit about you, your background, and just how long you've been in business.
Great, thank you. Well, I've been in business 35 years, and I actually took over my mother's salon. I was in business school, and took over my mom's hair salon after she passed away, my father. So I had to drop out of college, and I took over the salon, and got my, had my cosmetology license, and then I just decided to stick with it. And I really love the fact that it just encompasses, helping people look great, feel good. I could use my business skills that I learned in college to kind of get the business going. And it just became such a rewarding career. And then I dug into education, and I trained with the masters. I mean, that was the day when Vidal Sassoon was still cutting hair, doing training himself. And all the great masters of the industries, like, you know, taking classes from Michelangelo. I mean, these are the real people. And so I really embrace that, and that's kind of how I grow the staff, is really helping them to, you know, be the best that they can be in their craft and skill, and then meeting the needs of all the clients. You know, listening to them, nurturing them, taking all their beautiful traits, all their true beauty. That's why I use the word veritas. That means Latin word for truth. So you take the true beauty and you bring it out in them. So kind of like this place, the Vinery, where I've seen all these pieces of stained glass. They make something beautiful out of little pieces. That's kind of like a face. You look at all their features and all their personalities, and then you help to design and create a hairstyle that's just right for them.
I love
And you build a relationship. So it's kind of all
answer,
that
huh?
thing, you know?
Well
So-
spoken, well spoken. That just, I mean, I
that's
kind
the
of got the
truth.
shivers there
Yeah.
about that. You touched on, you know, family business, having the passion behind taking over what your mother started, which is a beautiful story, using your business education to apply to that, and then finding the beauty in the masters and the education and applying that to your staff and creating, I mean, you can tell your passion comes right out your voice right now. It's a beautiful thing to listen to. When you walk into your salon, it also, I mean, you just feel, oh, you have these waterfall pictures happening. I mean, it's
you.
so nice. So,
Thank you.
so way to represent the
Thank you.
the business and the professionalism behind it. Okay, I have to ask you this though. What is the Secret Garden House, and what services do you provide there?
Well,
I
the
don't know
secret-
anything about this.
You know what? It's interesting. When I eventually bought the whole building, it came with this 100-year-old house, a separate building behind the salon. And so, yes, there was a business renter that was in there, and it was like Michael Stores and Custard. They eventually moved out, so I thought, what am I going to do with this space? And I had clients that had suffered from hair loss, and I'd helped them get wigs, and I had no space to do a private consultation. So then I decided, actually, Governor Tommy Thompson's daughter Tommy, was one of my first clients in the Secret Garden. I helped her with her wig when she went through chemotherapy. So then I just really loved the fact that I could offer a private space that was so warm. And when you walk into this home, it's 100 years old. I renovated it. It's beautiful. It's one of the first homes on Monona Drive. So I thought, you know, I'm going to do something special with this place. So I called it the Secret Garden House, because it's kind of, you know, it's hidden, and no one really knew it was there. Till I bought some apartments behind there and some other buildings, knocked those down to create parking for my business. And then everybody's like, wow, there's this house behind here. So it was like,
secret.
where's this? Yeah. So, and it's kind of a secret too, because it's a personal thing. I mean, when you're losing your hair, chemotherapy, it's difficult. So I'm really happy that I have the chance to work with such wonderful women. You know, give them empowerment, you know, help them. I mean, these wigs that I have, they're made for medical purposes. Henry Margot, the best of the line. People, their hair looks real.
That is
that's
quite
really
impressive.
cool.
That's a
We-
wonderful
It's
story.
rewarding.
We're almost running out of time.
Nope,
so
no
much to talk
problem.
about.
You guys are really fabulous, and I want
Thank
to
you.
just real quick before we go brag on your product line a little
Thank
bit.
you.
Because
I'm
you
proud of
have
that.
your own brand, Veritas line.
Yes.
And we'll have to have you back to talk more about it. But truly, it's a wonderful product line. I'm a fan. When the girls come over to get ready for something, they wind up falling in love with your items. I've had to ship it now to my friends. Your hairspray is fabulous.
Yes, it's got the 3-dial. You can choose. Yes,
It's really good stuff,
There's a
so-
passion behind why I did what I did to create my own hairline, because there is truth in how manufacturers kind of mislead you with stuff. So, you know, I just made it simple.
You did, and it's wonderful
Thank you.
stuff. And
I've
we'll
got a
have to
gift for
chat
each
with
of you.
more.
Thank you.
So I wanted to see how many
We
were
gotta
here
go.
and get your hair
We'll
checked.
be back with more Girl
Thank
Talk
you.
after the break. Go see
Thank
Debbie
you.
and the staff over at Ultimate Veritas Salon and Spa. Be right back.
And welcome back to Girl Talk. We are here having a fabulous time at the Vinery Stained Glass Studio right off of East Washington Avenue. And we are so excited to have Mr. Greg Griffin here from Float Madison, located downtown on East Wilson, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Right.
We've got East Wash and East Wilson.
East Wash and East
Covering
Wilson.
the east sides
Covering
today.
the east side, exactly. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us today, Greg. First of all, introduce what is Float?
Sure. So, Float Madison, we're a float therapy center. We have what are used to be called sensory deprivation tanks, float tanks, pods, cabins, all essentially are the same thing. They have about 10 inches of water with about 1,000 pounds of Epsom salts dissolved into them. So it creates this near zero gravity, weightless environment. Anyone who gets in there will lay on their back, float effortlessly on the surface. Joints, muscles, bones, all that stuff just relax completely in there. The air temperature and the water heated to about the same temperature as your skin, so after a little bit you start to lose track of basically everything and you kind of just feel like you're floating in space. It's a really cool feeling.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to be weightless for a while? I was attracted to the sound of that. But also, you just said that you lose track of everything. Doesn't that sound nice? I mean, just for a moment in time to sort of forget about some of the things, stressors going on in your life, and just relax. And I think that's why this, I guess you could say, technology is really growing in awareness around the country because of that. So talk to us and viewers at home a little bit about who really stands to benefit from this. Who would be good customers, if you will?
Oh, sure, yeah, and it could be anyone. It starts sounding a little interesting to talk about all the people it can benefit. I say the biggest reasons people come in: general stress relief, relaxation, just kind of an escape from all those daily stressors. You're really, I maybe shouldn't say you lose track of everything. You lose track of almost everything external, and you're just kind of with yourself in there, which can be great. Just kind of, going deep into your own thoughts, or just resting and letting it all go for an hour. We get a lot of athletes. Some of the UW football players have been coming in lately and loving it. A lot of CrossFitters, heavy-hitting, sports people coming in. It's really popular in the athletic world now.
Sure.
The Cubs, different NFL teams.
Great.
But then people with chronic pain, like fibromyalgia, CRPS.
Yeah.
Just a whole gamut of people.
What about pregnant women as well?
Thanks for bringing it up. Yeah, last summer we had a lot of pregnant women coming in, almost an average of 2 a week, I would say. Just to take that weightlessness off of being pregnant for 9 months, or however many months when you come in there, and then just escape from all those stresses that come with pregnancy. The swollen ankles going away while you're in there floating. Definitely.
That just sounds amazing.
Absolutely.
I should have done that.
'Cause
Yeah.
everything's floating in there anyway, so might as well let it rise to the top and let everything feel easy and weightless, like you said. That would be nice for everyone involved. Tell us a little bit about the difference of a room and a pod.
Sure.
There's
So
probably some questions out there. I'm not quite sure myself. So
Yeah, so we have 2 different types of float tanks now, the pod and the room. Biggest reason I went with the room as well, it's a lot larger version. The pod is quite large. It's just pictures are hard to do it justice. When people ask me about claustrophobia, I tell them the pod is quite large, but if you're concerned, do the room. It has 7.5 feet of vertical space. You can actually stand up and walk around inside. Not that you would while you float, but just to give you an idea of space.
How big it is.
And with the
yeah.
pod, you don't have to pull the lid closed, right? You could leave it up if
Correct.
you wanted
Yeah,
to try
with the
that.
pod you can leave the lid up. With the room you can leave the door open. Most people shut them once they get in there and see how comfortable environment it looks. And there's lights and music options in there, so you can shut those things off to really get into that, those meditative states, or you can leave them on if you just want to relax and you have those concerns of claustrophobia still. But what we see is most people shut all that stuff off within the first few minutes. So.
And now, do you have other things? Obviously, the pods are gaining popularity, like you said earlier, but are there other services that you provide?
So at the moment, we just do the floating. We do have a separate room for relaxation. People can meditate in there, do some coloring, reading, stuff like that. We did just put a deposit on a sauna last month, so that should be up and running in the next few months here.
Awesome. Is that the infrared sauna?
Yes, we have a far infrared sauna, and then eventually
I've been hearing so much about that, so
great.
I'm excited that it's coming to your place. That'll be great.
we'll have a bodywork room soon after that, sometime this summer or fall, for massage, stuff like that, acupuncture. And then we are working right now this morning. They're actually they're doing construction on the new float tank, which is why I'm able to come here today. So.
Oh, all right.
Lucky us. Well, thank you for sharing so much information. We have run out of time, I'm so sorry to say, but Greg from Float Madison is here, and we're here at the Vinery. And join us in a moment for more Girl Talk.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. We've been having a great time here at the Vinery, and as promised, we're going to chat with these folks. It's the grand finale, the headliners. We're glad
I love
to see
it.
you guys. I know, I'm really building it up here.
Got to get a drum roll or something.
Right. We were drumming a little before we started. We're having fun. But we're joined, of course, by Denny, the owner here, and Josh, Jack of all trades. I know you probably have a real title, but I like to call you the Jack.
It's
of
more
all
fun.
trades.
Yeah, it's more fun.
Well, glad to see you guys. Thank you so much for having us. Now, we have had the opportunity to learn a lot about what you guys do here, but we're going to actually get a little bit more hands-on today and show some of you at home how it all works. But first, let's talk a little bit about what's new here.
Okay, I'll start. We have quite a class schedule set up for the month of March. And just some of the classes that we're going to be featuring, we have garden flowers, scrap lamp, stained glass workshop, fused garden stake, coral bowl.
Ooh, I like that one.
An air planter holder, glass
I love
mosaics. Yeah, a little holder.
Yeah.
Blown ornaments, always fun. Fused basket weave class and a stained art glass strips.
Lots of stuff going on.
Lots
wow.
of stuff for the garden.
Yeah. As spring starts to unfold, we hope it's coming, right?
Maybe.
You guys
We'll
sound
see.
like busy bees. That's good. And today, like Jessa mentioned, I'm really excited because we're going to do some glass cutting, right?
Exactly.
Oh, I'm excited
Exactly.
for that. That means we get to use the tools.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's awesome. And I know in past segments, typically we talk about these different things, and today I'm excited because we get to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So let me explain a few things that
Sure.
we're going to show you. We're going to talk basically about glass cutting today. And we're just going to quickly run through some of the tools that are involved.
There's a lot of tools on the table here, so I'm excited.
We
Gadgets.
do.
We'll get to this one in a second.
So this one's a basic glass cutter. This is what we're going to be doing all our glass cutting with. We have a couple pair of different types of pliers to break the glass with.
Okay.
And then Josh has got a few over on his side.
I got a circle cutter here.
So that's what that is. This
This
is
is
actually
circle cutter.
cuts.
Yeah, it goes around. Goes around a nice circle.
Okay.
Give you a quick
So that's how you make the
demonstration.
perfect circle.
Whoa, it sounds cool.
It sounds cool. And then
Wow, that's how
glass
you make
always breaks
a
from pressure
perfect
coming underneath the brake line. So I have a nice run going around here. You keep working it all the way around.
Wow.
And flip it back over.
You make this look so easy.
I do it for a living.
And you teach people how to do it for a living, too.
And he
so.
cuts hundreds of circles.
Wow. That's incredible.
There you have it.
You made that seem so easy.
Yeah,
Oh, and this is not even elapsed time. That was in real
No,
time.
that was real.
That was really neat. Well, okay. Did we get to all of them? There's a couple more here.
Yeah,
I was
let-
wondering what this is.
Let me
too.
try, first I'll show you the basic glass cutter, okay? It's a basic tool that we're going to be using. And when we use it, we have this tiny little wheel here that's made out of carbide. And that's what does the actual cutting. And we just kind of roll it across the surface of the glass like that. We make a
Wow.
score or a scratch, and that's called the score line. And we take a pair of these pliers, these are called running pliers, and we line it up to the score line like this and just squeeze, and the glass breaks.
So easy.
So now watch this. Okay,
You
so
say
that's
that, but you haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
so
that's true. They make it look easy.
that's the straight line, and then I'll show you how to cut a little bit of a curve here. You just snap it like that, just like on TV.
Just
Just
like
like on TV. Wow.
awesome. Okay, so do we get to try a couple of these?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, by all means.
What
so
can we
I've-
make with these shapes?
Well, there's a lot of different things. So how about if let's run through a couple more shapes. I just
Okay.
wanted to explain a little bit. When we're actually making a stained glass window, what we wind up doing is taking a pattern piece and we trace around the outside edge with a marker. This is the hardest part for me of the whole process.
Isn't that funny?
Is the
That's-
tracing,
to draw
yeah,
it
the
with a
tracing,
marker.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then we have our shape, and this is piece number 17. And then I take my glass cutter, and I cut just on the very inside edge of the line. And then I take my running pliers like this, and just snap it off. So then I cut the remaining shape.
Sure.
So, but I won't bore you with the details. I know you guys are chomping at the bit
Yeah,
to cut
can
a
you
little
tell?
glass. I
Can we
could
try?
tell.
Can we try?
I could tell. So I think maybe, Jesse, you can cut, yeah, we'll simultaneously cut
Okay.
some shapes here.
All
And
right.
We don't know
Ellen,
how
I'll
much
work
time
with
we
you.
have left,
Okay.
so we'll
So
see
you grab it like this,
where we are here.
and like this.
So straight up
Okay.
and down, heavy pressure.
Like this?
You- Right,
Just a
you're just
nice,
going to
like, zipper
start on the
sound as
inside
you
edge,
go
and you're
before
just
you
going
Go
to
straight.
go straight across.
And then just make sure you keep your finger kind of.
Here we go, people.
All right.
Like this?
Yep.
Okay, a little harder, a little harder.
Like a pen.
There you go, perfect.
Right.
There you
Perfect,
go, yep.
beautiful.
Okay.
Woohoo!
All right,
Doing it right
if you
so
want to
far?
grab those
Yep.
pliers
Little
there,
hard,
Okay.
There you go.
and
Perfect.
you're going to
Yep,
line
that's-
this line up with the
Okay,
score
that was
line,
exhilarating.
and then
That-
squeeze.
Take
Yep,
these
just
guys.
squeeze.
Oh,
and there's a
wow.
little line right in the middle.
there you have
match
it.
that line with your score line.
Voila.
Okay.
And just give
This
it
is
a-
so
give it a
exciting.
Few
squeeze.
tags on the back there, we'll get rid of.
Oh,
And what you guys
There.
can't see at home is that you really don't have to put that much pressure on it. And
Right.
you
No.
imagine it to be like you have to really
Push.
force it, but it's you know,
Right. Okay,
focus.
Ellen, where's your piece you cut?
It's right here.
this one.
Oh man, yours is way straighter than mine.
Does that mean I win?
That means I'm more creative.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not a contest.
Oh, fun.
There
that
you
was
go.
great.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you
So
guys.
I'm going to defer to Josh here. He's got a few tools over on his side that he can show
Okay.
you.
So here I have the Morton system. We have a nice little ruler and a straight bar on here, if I can get it back into place. And what this does is allows us to give straight lines every time.
Oh, perfect.
See, I guess I need that.
You needed a little,
Cool, yeah.
I wanted to give you a little bit of free range
Right.
going there. But what I'm going to do here is do 1/2-inch strips. And then this is kind of the basis for our basket weave class that we have right
so
up
that's
front
this
here.
one.
So those are all a bunch of
This
strips.
is so cool. Every time I come in, I'm attracted to these.
I love that sound.
It's like music.
It
After
does.
You get all the way down, yeah. And then you can lay them out and weave them over. If you had the second color, you could go over the top of those.
So when you're weaving these, so you cut all these lines. Obviously, you can kind of see how many you need, or you could, I suppose, make a big one
you could
if
make
you
a
wanted.
giant one.
You're weaving them flat then, right? Because they're not bending.
We
so
put them all on top of each other and stack them, and then we put them in the kiln, and what gives it the illusion of weaving is them melting down over each other and kind
That's
of
neat.
flatten
How do they
out.
get this like sort of curve shape?
So
then?
after we fire it once, it goes back in the kiln and it goes into a mold that gives it its shape.
Okay, so you can mold it then to how you like in the kiln. That's so
Okay.
fun.
That would be fun to
about-
do with somebody together because we could put our pieces together.
Right.
Make a
Sure.
basket.
Maybe.
Okay, wow.
Okay.
We already ran out of time. That was so
Oh,
much
good.
fun. I want to come do the basket weave class. Sounds like a ton of fun.
Okay.
So thanks for
Absolutely.
sharing some of these tools with us and letting us get our
Hands dirty.
There you go.
glass.
Love it.
Well, come on over to the Vinery. It's been lots of fun. This is Denny and Josh. Great, great folks here and lots of great fun. We've enjoyed having all of our guests today, and thank you so much for watching. Join us next time on Girl Talk.